Listen to me. You are the bloodsome of Ireland's sin and hope. Let me use your face to show the world how complex this land is, how much we love the place in which we cannot breathe and which we cannot breathe without. I too am equally divided between the officer who takes his boots off and plays cards in the drawing room, and the rebel waiting in the bushes with kerosene to burn the great house to the ground. Let me tell you the story in which I have cast you. Ireland is not square, but in one of its forgotten corners is a mountain upon which is a cairn, a mound of stones marking the burial of one of Noah's sons. Birch trees line her subtle valleys, willows and alders dance around her many lakes. This is a place of mist, strange-shaped hills known only by the occasional hen harrier. Purple in summer, frost white in winter, you might easily starve here. But somehow people clung to life, grazing their cattle in the hidden grasses, farming the sloping meadows below the mountain. These meadows are sweet and lush and caught the eye of the crown many, many years ago. Even now, these coursing, pulsing lines of magic fuel the empire, long addicted to the power of this strange, stolen land. Some folks turned to stealing after being displaced to the wilderness. Preying upon wealthy farmers in the Vale, the rebels grew strangely prosperous in their craft of horse thieving and cattle rustling. Chief among these rebels was a man named Shane Barnagh, toothless, fearless, beloved. He painted horses in new colors, gave to the poor, lived merrily in a mountain cave with his young wife and baby, far above the barbaric civilization in the green valley beneath him. Too deep in the hills to be followed, he moved ghost-like in between worlds. One grim, foggy Christmas day, a patrol of soldiers watching the poor gathered on the hillside for their forbidden open-air mass. One young soldier, guided by the worst of impulses, trained his eye on the flickering candle, and when the priest, with a price on his head, moved in front of the light to give communion, he pulled the trigger. You are that impulsive soldier, but you are also the fallen priest. You are the peasants weeping and running with their barefooted children into the birch woods, running, fearing the hail of shots that never followed. You are Shane Barnagh, who, upon hearing the news from his brother, saddled a horse and rode into the mist to consult the lake. Silent, feminine, thirsty. You are the heather underfoot as Barnagh lay in wait for the redcoat with the red hand. And you are the redcoat who pays for his impulsive actions. You are also the aging commander in Barracktown, who has a house in which women exist only in portraits. In his library, watched by the painting of a woman he couldn't love, he pens the order for the execution of Shane Barnagh. Under the winter skies, dozens of redcoats, falsely bright, march deep into the dull landscape. Ruthless and merciless, they find Shane Barnagh in his native haunts, beat him and execute him, throwing his head to the southward town and his body in Scott's Lake. Silently they return, the way which they came, the enormity of what they have done only beginning to sink in. Silently the rebels pull their beloved's body from the abstract grey waves. Breathlessly Barnagh's brother crosses the mountain to tell Barnagh's wife of his execution. Lapping against the bog shore, the winter reeds of the sister lake watches as a lone woman walks into her midst, carrying her baby back home to the waters of the earth. The wind sings through the willows, down the valleys of sleeping sheep, through the young limes of plantation and in the cracked library window. And upon hearing what you have unleashed, you as the commander drop your head into your hands, in full awareness that your descendants will carry within them the sin of hope just as you have. They will walk amongst Japanese larches, Himalayan balsam, druids' chairs, and they will forever see the fractured worldview, the details of moss and angular branches, which were the last comforts of those who died on the mountain. Add stones to the cairn and make art in their names. It is all we can do.